Greetings, Otaku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm here to bring you yet again another ThunderCats episode review right here on Otaku Assemble! Weekly, as always, I'm here to bring you the latest in this week's ThunderCats episode review. So, this is ThunderCats Season 1, Episode 16, and it is entitled The Trials of Lion-O Part 2. This week's episode, we pick up where we left off last week with Lion-O having to complete the last two trials that he had to achieve in order to be resurrected by the Spirit Stone. Meanwhile, the rest of the ThunderCats team, they tracked down Mumm-Ra's fortress, and they pretty much infiltrated it in an attempt to get back the Sword of Omens. However, that led to their imprisonment. And then, of course, as the episode progressed, Lion-O came back, went, rescued the ThunderCats, got the Sword of Omens back, bing, bang, boom. It's a wrap. Now, I know a lot of you all are going to be like, Larry, what the fuck? You just rushed through that plot synopsis like it was nothing. I'm going to tell you all why, and I'm almost positive that you all can pick up in the tone of my voice. This episode was horrible. It was downright detestable. You know, and I'm going to get into this. I'm not just going to sit here and say it was bad and not explain to you all why. But more often than not, I'm starting to pick up on, it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like every one of my ThunderCats episode reviews is a lesson on writing. And the reason why is because this series has very poor writing. I am going to explain to you all exactly what made this episode so bad. And the main reason for it was the horrible writing. So, let's address some of these issues. Number one, the third trial that we saw, the one with Panthro, it was a test of strength. Lion-O had to get Panthro outside of the circle before the hourglass emptied. It was pretty much a sumo match. And then Lion-O completes the trial by simply ordering Panthro out of the circle. And Lion-O says, well, I thought this was a test of strength. And Panthro replies with, yes, but not physical. Strength is in leadership. Remember that. This is when this is where the poor writing starts, okay? Now, if the trial was about strength and leadership, how could Lion-O fulfill the trial by simply ordering Panthro out of the circle? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that what Lion-O's been doing this entire series? Like, I think it almost got to the point where Lion-O was like, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, I am your king, I'm ordering you to do something. Well, that's exactly what the fuck Lion-O did in the trial. He's been doing that the entire series. How is that any different? And not only that, what is the lesson to be learned? That there's strength in leadership? I think Lion-O fucking knew that. I think we all knew that. Poor writing, number one. Number two, the final trial with Tigra, where Lion-O pretty much had to beat Tigra at that game that they played, that we saw them play in the first episode. But he said that, well, no, Tigra never said what the test was about. Lion-O assumed that the test was about him controlling his emotions. Okay? So Lion-O gets too angry? Was this not the lesson that he learned in the third episode, Ramlak Rising? Was that not the same lesson? And how is defeating Tigra in that game supposed to teach Lionel about controlling his emotions? Because it doesn't seem like that was the type of game where if Lionel was calm and he really thought about it, he could have beat him. Why? Because the whole time they're competing, it wasn't a race like it was in the Chitara trial where she was legitimately faster than Lionel and he had to use his brain to try and figure out how could he possibly beat her when she's clearly faster than he is. It wasn't like that at all. Lionel never got to the end because Tigra kept fucking with him the entire trial. How is that supposed to teach him about controlling his emotions? And then Tigra makes the comment that no, it's not that I always saw myself as I should have been the one to be king, but you always thought that I should have been king, or rather you always thought that maybe you shouldn't have been king. Well, if that's the case, then shouldn't the test have been about self-doubt rather than controlling your emotions? I'm sorry, but how the fuck could you honestly watch this episode and think that that made any type of fucking sense? Poor fucking writing number 2. Now, the third point I want to address is the whole thing with the trials. Correct me if I'm wrong. We were told that Lionel had to complete all 4 trials in order to be resurrected by the Spirit Stone, right? Then how the fuck, first off, Lionel fails the last one, but then he's given the opportunity to come back anyway, as long as he, but wait, hang on a minute. He's allowed to come back, but only until sunrise, which brings me to poor writing number 3. I hate stories that have those time limits, that there's no fucking reason for the time limits. And I'll give you examples. That bullshit about the Spirit Stone will only revive you until sunrise. I'm gonna use a very personal example of a story like that that I don't fucking like. For any of you all who've ever seen Smallville, in the season 5 premiere, when Clark is in the fucking Fortress of Solitude, Jor-El tells him that, you know, you need to complete your training. And when Clark discovers that Chloe has followed him into the fortress and, you know, she's freezing to death, Clark's like, yo, let me go so I can help her and, you know, try to stop whatever is going on in Smallville. And Jor-El tells him, it's like, all right, cool, but you have to return to me before sundown, otherwise there'll be consequences. What the fuck did returning before sundown have to do with any fucking thing? Now, I can understand if it's just like, okay, I'm giving you until the end of the day to do this, but keep in mind, the way in which it sounded and the way in which it was presented was like, as if it was like this fucking mystic, like there was some type of magical element to it, which, for the record, there's a lot of shit in Smallville that has magical elements as far as like that Kryptonian technology bullshit, which makes absolutely no fucking sense because that shit's supposed to be scientific, not fantastical. But the point I'm trying to get is this. What the fuck did returning before sundown have to do with anything? Fucking Jor-El has like all the power in the fucking world. Why are there these preset fucking rules of you have to return before sundown? Same thing in this episode. Oh, well, the Spirit Stone will only give you until sunrise. Why? Now, a lot of you gonna be like, Larry, you're thinking way too hard on this shit. But no. You're not thinking enough on this shit. Because, I'm sorry, but this is a perfect fucking example of how people will just accept this blind acceptance that if you just put it in the story, people will just accept it as being true. Fuck that. I'm a writer, and I'm sorry, that's bullshit fucking writing. That's fucking literary convenience. You're making this shit up to try and create some type of conflict or parameter or some type of shit that could possibly trip the protagonist up, but it has absolutely no merit or no purpose in your fucking literary narrative. It makes no fucking sense. It's not like this is a preset rule that we known of, and it's not like it's not like, okay, this is how the stone works. You know, it's not like It's not like a remote control. Like I know on this remote control, this is the play button. And no matter how many times I press it, it's always going to be the play button. Just like this is the select button. No matter how many times I press it, it will always be the select button. That isn't something that fucking sunrise bullshit isn't something that the stone comes with. It's not like you see it in the fucking manual and you know, okay, this is what it's going to do. No, it's a bullshit convenience that was given into the story to try and create some type of fucking stress for Lionel because he knew he had to get it done before fucking sunrise. It's not like in Cinderella where the case in point, look at Cinderella. You know, the fairy godmother told her, you had until the stroke of midnight, otherwise the spell was going to wear off. But you know what? There was a reasoning for that. Why? Because that's as far as the magic worked. So am I just supposed to blindly accept that, okay, well, this is the extent of the Spirit Stone's power? It can restore your life back to normal, but it can only allow you to be resurrected for a couple of hours? Are you sure about this? Bullshit, poor writing, number 4. Then, as far as the Thunder fucks, okay, first off, the idea to infiltrate Mumm-Ra's fortress was fucking idiotic. They're hugely outnumbered and they don't have their most powerful weapon. Stupid as all fucking hell. But then, the thing that pissed me off to high fucking heaven is the scene when Tigra is talking to fucking Chitara in the prison and he says, you know what? I question Lionel's decisions all the time, but they always seem to work out. However, when I finally get the role of leadership, I put us in this fucking mess. So wait a minute. So you're telling me that Tigra and the rest of the ThunderCats didn't agree with Lionel's methods, despite the fact that they rendered positive results. So then that means that by that definition, by that logic, then that means that Lionel didn't do anything wrong. So if Lionel didn't do anything wrong, why the fuck would he have to undergo a series of trials that would teach him lessons about the mistakes he made, which led to his death in the first place, if he didn't do anything wrong from Jump Street? I'm going to repeat that in case you all don't understand what I'm talking about. If Tigra admitted that Lionel, despite not agreeing with his methods, did nothing wrong because all of his actions led to positive outcomes, then that would imply that Lionel never did anything wrong. And if Lionel never did anything wrong, then why would Lionel have to undergo a series of trials that would teach him lessons about the mistakes he made, which led to his inevitable death? Then that means he did nothing wrong to begin with. So what the fuck are the lessons for? Poor writing, number 5. And then the coup de fucking grace, which is going to tie into the point I made about the Spirit Stone earlier. At the end of the episode, Lionel is granted his life back because he was willing to sacrifice his soul to return to life to save his comrades. Despite the fact that we were clearly told in last week's episode that you had to complete all 4 trials in order to get resurrected. But Lionel only completed 3, but because he was willing to make the sacrifice, he got his life back. So they just broke the fucking rules that they set in the previous episode. Then what was the fucking point? Especially if Lionel didn't do anything wrong from Jump Street. What was the fucking point of all of that? What was the fucking point of the past 2 episodes? If Lionel was in the right from jump, if he didn't do anything wrong, And if by simply being selfless, he would have got resurrected anyway, what was the fucking point? What was the fucking point of that? You have... Once again, it's convenient, shitty, sloppy, lazy ass writing on the behalf of the writers. I shit you not. I shit you not. What the fuck is going on with this series? Seriously. To say that they started off on such a strong note in episodes 1 and 2, and to say that they had good episodes, you know, Legacy, Song of the Petalars, excuse me, fucking, The Forest of Meiji Ore. They had good episodes. So, what the fuck are they doing with this fucking series? I'm sorry. This is fucking horrible ass writing. This shit is on the grade school level, and don't you dare say that, oh Larry, well, it's a series for children, so you know you can't expect it to be fucking, you know, you can't expect it to be well written. No. That's a fucking excuse, and it's a bullshit excuse. Don't ever fucking come to me with some bullshit excuse like that as, oh well, it's meant to be for children, so it's poorly written. Because I can name a multitude of television and cartoon shows that were made for children that have beautiful fucking writing. Off the top of my head, Avatar: The Last Airbender and Hey Arnold are two examples on the top of my head right now that had great fucking writing. So don't even fucking bring that up. That's stupid. You're a fucking moron for trying to argue that case. Okay? That's not fucking cutting it. Okay? How long is this video? I think I'm going on 20 minutes. I have a fucking headache. I'm gonna leave this review off there. I'm seriously considering dropping this series because yeah, it's not living up to its potential, and it's just been a downhill. It's been a fucking downhill slope ever since they came back with the new episodes. But then again, I mean, you all will remember from my reviews with, like, I think it was like episode 10 and like episode 12 and 13. I've been having a problem with those episodes, so it's just been. This series is just slowly but surely going downhill. So I'm highly, at this point right now, I'm highly considering dropping this series, unless this fucking series turns a leaf soon. I'm fucking dropping it. I think I will. I don't know. I have to find something. I have to find something that will keep me interested in watching this, and continue watching this, and then especially continuing reviewing this. I don't know what it is, but I need to find something. I need to find something about this series that is worth my while to continue it. I got to, because the reason why I got so hyped into the series in the first place was because the premiere was so good. Because I thought the premiere was written really well. I thought it was setting up for some really interesting fucking things, and it hasn't delivered on those at all. It hasn't at all. Okay, no, let me not say at all. Let me not say at all, because like the quest for the Book of Omens, I thought was good. The whole Spirit Stone thing, I thought was good. I mean, hell, just the general concept of the fucking of the plot, I think is still good. You know, the idea that they have to, they're traveling their world to find these stones of power, and they're trying to beat Mumm-Ra to the chase. But with all that said, everything else that they have fucking hinted at, they haven't fucking explored yet. Like we saw in Legacy how Mumm-Ra used to have all these fucking races under his fucking thumb, and they haven't explored that at all. We just got fucking introduced to Atticus and fucking Kanar, and we went 13 episodes before seeing them. Where are all these fucking races we keep hearing about? We see them, but we don't never see any type of fucking, like, it's not like the ThunderCats are trying to rally them behind them. It's not like they're building an army to go to war with Mumm-Ra or anything like that. It's not even like they are trying to fucking form some alliance of their own, completely separate from the ThunderCats, to try and defeat Mumm-Ra. What has Mumm-Ra been doing? I haven't been seeing Mumm-Ra conquer other lands or enslave other races. What the fuck is going on in this series? Seriously. What the fuck are they doing? I'm done. This has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief. I'm fucking signing off. Will there be a ThunderCats review next week? I don't even fucking know. I don't know. Peace.